Alrighty, so I just went through the do's of your physical body. So again, we're going to be eating, your eating habits, your diet, not like saying diet, but your eating habits you need to be vegetarianism, and consuming cannabis, the actual leaf, not necessarily smoking the flower or anything like that, but you need to be, doing this one. Sorry, again, clip up here, Archangel Sidkiel, forgot to mention that. Next, rest and relaxation, listen to your body. If you are tired, sleep. If you are hungry, eat. If you need to pee, go pee. But rest and relax. Calm, let your body absorb what you've done for the day, and so it can repair. And rest is repair and rejuvenation. Exercise. The only thing you need to do is yoga. Only thing you need to do. If you want to add in running or jogging or walking or hiking and or weightlifting, that's fine. But as long as you're doing yoga first, because that is literally how your body is going to repair itself at a phenomenal rate. And also, did you know that if you consistently do yoga, you are going to find some really great results, especially if you marry it with these, and really fast results, long-lasting results, and it'll feel like you're not even doing anything. It's bloody fabulous. All these diet fads, you kill yourself for, you know, like, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds. Like, literally, just eat properly and do some yoga. The weight falls off you and you feel great. Alrighty. And lastly, energy production. You need to replenish your energy. So sun gazing, all of these are for 30 minutes every day. So sun gazing, get up at sunset or get up at sunrise or do it at sunset, up to you. But if you can go out and sun gaze for 30 minutes a day, that would be great. Grounding yourself, meaning you got to go put your feet in some dirt for at least 30 minutes. If you're not walking outside barefoot, get a bowl of sand, get like a nice tray of sand and stick your feet in there for 30 minutes. That will replenish your energy. Periodic breathing. You are restricting some of the oxygen flow from getting through your body, and the less breaths you take, the longer your lifespan can be. So again, replenishes your energy. And then tree hugging as well. Not something that I technically do because I'm like, ew, bugs. But if you are very in tune with trees and with nature, go out and hug a tree for 30 minutes if you can. That will also increase your daily energy by 50%. And lastly, twin flames only. Only if you are a twin flame and that you have confirmed that the person with you is also your twin flame. Only if you, again, clause, will you be able to generate energy via orgasm, so having sex. And there's not a time limit on that. Just as long as you guys are orgasming together, you will generate power. But again, twin flame only. If it's a soulmate, doesn't count. And anybody else, doesn't count. So that's that. So, what are our don'ts? Okay. So our physical body don'ts, there are not too many of them, but they are very, very important nonetheless. So don't number 1 is don't eat meat. So do not eat meat. Any form of meat. Just like I mentioned with the whole be a vegetarian, the other rule is you just don't eat meat. It is not good for you. It is killing you slowly. And this is not even from a whole, like, oh, I'm a vegan, save the plant, save the animals. Although, yes, all the side effects are great when you stop eating it. But for the care of your physical body, you can't eat meat. That's just what it is. Number 2 is don't have sex loosely. Just as I was mentioning in my last video that eating meat can take away 50% of your daily energy, so can having sex. So if you are just kind of going out there and having sex with absolutely anybody, you are literally giving your energy away. And you're not able to reclaim that back, or you have to work harder to claim that back. So I want you to kind of look at it as when you have daily energy. So let's say every single day, you get $100. And out of that $100, that's all you have for the day, and that's your daily energy. So out of that $100, it costs you $60, every day just to live, just to wake up in the morning. It cost you $60. So now you have $40 left to do all of the stuff that you want to do. Now I'm not talking about like, oh, you can just go to work and go get more money. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about energy that you contain within your own body and your own vessel. And that energy or that currency is actually goes towards your lifespan. So once you're out of that kind of energy or that currency, you're dead. That's why people just, people just randomly die and you're just like, oh, they were so young. I can't believe that. They didn't even look like they were sick. It's because their energy level just ran out. They got kaput. They don't have no more money left over to start their heart in the morning anymore. And again, that's done through choices. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So if you think you got $100, you got to spend $60, bang, that's gone. So you've got $40 left. Now it costs, every time you have sex, it costs $50. But you only have $40 left. So if you have sex today and it's just with anybody, you have just gone in energy debt by $10. Now the thing is, your whole lifespan is a savings account of energy. So you've been given $100, but you've just spent $110. So that extra $10 comes from your life savings or your life energy. So if you're having sex all the time and you're not replacing that $10 by doing all of the energy generating things that I mentioned, then you're constantly going to be in debt. And as we know, the more you spend when you're in debt, the deeper you get until there's just no more to give. Now, unlike the bank, your life energy does not grant you extensions or loans or anything. Once it's out, it's out. So that's why you don't want to have sex loosely. Now, some people, like if you go on to Quartz Crystal, she's going to say don't have sex at all. And I'm like, we're human here. Sex is a wonderful experience. It's a beautiful thing between two people who love each other. And it can be very, very enjoyable and it can be very, very pleasurable. And it's something that everybody does like to experience. But that's why we say don't have it loosely. Make sure that the person who you are going to go into debt for is worth it. And that you know what you're doing when you're actually doing it. So that's what you need to ensure that you're not having sex loosely. Again, because it's so expensive in terms of energy to freaking do. Okay, the number 3, don't make bad physical decisions. So what do I mean by that? The obvious, don't run with scissors. If it's minus 50 outside, don't go outside without a coat and jacket. Without a coat and the appropriate shoes. Don't get drunk and go walk on a ladder. You're going to fall and break your leg. And you're going to cause unnecessary damage through your decisions. So just make good decisions. That's basically all that one is. The next one is don't, and this is the last one really, don't do harmful drugs. Now, there are so many bloody drugs out there. So how do we know which one's harmful or not? Now, if you're following all of the do's in the previous section there, you really shouldn't have any need for a hospital or for a doctor, assuming that you don't have any illnesses that you were born with, for example. If you need assistance there, then by all means, please do get it and do listen to your doctor. But if you were born perfectly healthy and all you have is just things like diabetes, heart disease, any sort of cancers or diseases in your body, and if you're following all the do's, that should really take care of it. So at the end of the day, when you say don't do any harmful drugs, that can include pharmaceutical drugs. Because a lot of people, they are hooked on opioids and so forth. So how do you know if it's a harmful drug or not? Well, for one, do your research. That's number 1. But 2, anything you can overdose on. There's a lot of things we can overdose on. And when I say anything you can overdose on, I mean anything that you can that you can actually administer to your body within the amount of time where it will take to kill you. So, for example, you can overdose on heroin, cocaine, Tylenol, paracetamol. You can overdose on these things. You can overdose on cough medicine. You can overdose on the drugs that your doctor gives you. You can overdose anything you can overdose on. You do not want to be taking, as we will consider that as a harmful thing. Like, again, heroin, if you have too much in one needle or whatever, or I don't know, I've never done it before, so you snort it, whatever you do with it, however you get into your system, you physically can overdose on it. Cannabis, for example, you can't physically overdose on. Or the amount that you would have to ingest to overdose on is so great that you would have passed out way before you could actually get there. And the only way you could overdose on it is if somebody was literally pumping it through your veins while you were passed out. So that you can say is non-harmful. Psychedelics, like mushrooms, natural psychedelics like mushrooms, and so forth. You can have a lot of it. You won't overdose. You may have a really bad night. really, really bad night. But you can't, it's not harmful to the point where it's going to cause you any permanent damage. Whereas harmful drugs, if you overdose, will either cause death or permanent damage, maybe brain damage or this or that, right? So you can't do any harmful drugs. Alcohol is one of those as well. You don't want any alcohol. I know that sucks. And I know people are like, but Jesus drank wine. You don't want any alcohol. Alcohol, again, is a poison. People get alcohol poisoning and they die. So you can overdose on that sucker. So you shouldn't be putting it in your body. And you may be like, well, but a glass every now and then is fine. No, you don't put anything in your body. The same way that, yeah, you can drink a glass of bleach. You may not die the first time, but it's not exactly good for you. Same thing with alcohol or any harmful drugs. So that is the physical body down. And we're going to be coming back to you in some other videos, and we will be continuing on with the conscious body and going down the list of what you need. So good luck.